All right. Thank you, Verena and Moritz. Thank you very much for the invitation. Very pleased to be here. And if I get it right, then after you had the idea for this, to actually do this event, I think I had the privilege of being one of the first persons you approached about talking. And obviously was very, very happy to say yes, because I think it's great to have this type of event in Europe, in this type of setting and combination of people attending. And I think that's why I got the privilege of getting the first slot after the morning break, which is awesome, because you guys are now loaded with sugar and coffee, visibly shivering with excitement, awaiting my talk. So I guess I better deliver something interesting. I'll do my best to do so. Okay. Mighty title, Innovative Publishing. So let's see if we can find something innovative about what we do. What it's really about is just sharing my view on the market and sharing what we do to get into this kids app market. And then, very open to hear what you guys think and hopefully get some discussion at the end. So yeah, this is who I work for. This is Ravensburger. Quick show of hands. Please be honest, who does not know our company? Who does not know our brand? One. Okay, great. Awesome. Because of you, everybody's now going to have to listen to a boring company introduction. But I'll make it very quick. So, yeah, this is who we are. Ravensburger Group is 130 years old. We're Europe's largest company doing games, traditional puzzles, books, and toys. We have over 8,000 products we ship in 80 countries. A tiny piece of those 8,000 are actually digital, yeah, which is great, and more to come. About 1,700 colleagues of myself happily working away to deliver all that and creating about 360 million euros of revenue. So kind of a solid, medium-sized German company. Just for you to get a gist. I run the digital unit, which is the tiniest piece of this organization. About 25 people based in Munich. We've been active since 2010 on the market, so not late for a traditional house like Ravensburger. And I had the pleasure to set that up and run it ever since. So what have we been doing? Luckily from the start we decided to jump over any form of physical computer games. So we didn't do any console or PC games. We went right ahead and said it's all purely digital distribution, online and mobile. That's what we did. And over the past 2-3 years, mobile clearly has become the focus platform. Our working hypothesis, as yours, is smartphones and tablets will be the digital media platform for kids in the future. Whether you like it or not, tablets are coming into kids' rooms, and we have to happen there. We want to happen there. So we're very focusedly working on mobile as our core platform. This is what we've done over the past couple of years. Just as an example, this is our current iOS portfolio. That's about 40 titles. Right now in a very active phase of publishing a new one about every 3 weeks or so. And as you see, it's obviously a mixture of games, what I would call in our view games, or for us games, and kids apps. And the natural place for us to start is obviously with the games, right? The classic board games, family games, puzzles, casual games, all the way to hardcore strategy games. Those are well known, those are popular, and I'm not going to talk about that, even so actually said in the program I'll talk about board games. I won't, because I don't think it's of interest for me to go into all the stuff we did there and how beautiful they are, because what's interesting for me is to have this double view in the market. We've got this game segment and publishing those worldwide and enjoying a fair bit of success on that side, and then we've got what we call the pure kids apps. That includes some kids games as well, of course, but really apps for 2 to 8-year-olds. And there the picture seems to be very different. If you look at just, the pure results, the numbers, and also if you talk to developers on those sides and just look at the overall experience and feedback you get out of the market segment. So today I really want to focus not on the games, even though they're by far the bigger part of our business, but let's look at the smaller part, which is the kids apps. And obviously we're a kids and family quality entertainment brand. We're very committed to the kids area and to building a portfolio there. But looking at this market segment, I would say the reality is it's no piece of cake. Yeah? We talk a lot with developers who are focused on bringing high-quality kids to market, premium kids, and many of them put a lot of work into that, and many of them have a hard time on the business side, frankly. So today, we have a somewhat skewed view because we see a lot of the few success stories up here on stage. We see the people here who've managed to stick out of that very competitive environment. But for most of the people you talk to, it's actually a fairly sobering experience for us as a publisher to speak to these very, very motivated and engaged developers, and to see where they are and how they try to cope with that challenge. So what's the issue here? You guys all know that. There's massive increased competition. We are in a market with effectively zero barriers to entry, right? There's decreasing visibility. We've all talked about that up and down. And the one thing of hope for especially the independent, smaller developers, which in all fairness you have to say, the app stores have done a great job of democratizing visibility, right? The app stores have done a good job at giving smaller developers a chance via the features to be seen. But the reality is the relative effectiveness of those features goes down, right? We've been in the App Store for over 4 years. We're enjoying a very good relationship with the platform owners. We've seen many features in various categories. But the fact is there's more and more content. There's more and more real estate for the features as well. So relying on a feature by itself, and I think the platform owners will be the first to tell you, can no longer be your strategy as an independent. You really have to think beyond that because the effectiveness of that is very short and it's only going to carry you a short piece of the way. So the bottom line is not for those few success stories we may be seeing here today, but for a large part of committed, engaged, quality kids apps developers, the ROI, the revenue coming back from these apps, rarely justifies the amount of work they actually put in. That's my sober view on the market from talking to these developers. I'll be interested to hear your views. Yeah? So we talk to these developers, and it's interesting to see how they try to cope. Many, many different strategies that are applied. Some are just plain clueless. They don't know what to do. Okay. Others go into low-cost mass production. I've met small developers that are churning out over 100 apps. No matter what the gameplay depth, no matter what the content value, they just go boom, 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 boom. We'll cover it up by mass. Okay, you can try and do that. Others go seek their fortune in free-to-play, which we all know is very difficult to do in the kids' target group. And it's even a question whether you'd want to do that. We'd certainly be very hesitant to do that for various reasons. If you have the money in the first place, you can try paid customer acquisition like all the others. You'll find out very quickly it does not work. You cannot get a return on paid customer acquisition, certainly not in the kid space. And then the last thing they often try is this constant cycle of the price promotions, dropping price, raising price, dropping price, desperately trying to get some form of reactiveness and visibility and coming back up in the rankings. Yeah? And again, from my view, none of these strategies is anything that would be sustainable in the long run. Certainly none of those is what we are pursuing. So the question really is, as a committed developer for quality kids apps, how to make it worthwhile? Yeah, how to make it worthwhile? Because you get out there, and even if you've done all your homework, you've done the basics, in the first place you deliver a good quality product, because if you don't, then all of this is irrelevant anyway. You did your homework, you deliver a great product. I mean, we talk to people that spend 2 years of their life working nights and weekends and evenings developing a kids app, just because they love to do that. And then they release this app, and then nothing happens, right? I mean, it's saddening to see almost. And how can you do that? And even if you do the homework right, you do your app store optimization right, you've got your keywords, you've got the icon, you even tested the icon before, right? Okay, your Twitter, your blog, you're on Facebook, but it's only one story to tell. It's only one touch point. It's only one app, maybe 2 or 3. You even get the feature. So you get the sunshine 1 week, 2 weeks. Then you look at the ranking and you're, whoa, 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 where are you going? Come back up. Yeah, then you drop the price, maybe it comes back up. But is that sustainable? I don't know. So what can you do? And I can only share our view and some thoughts, and I'm interested to hear how you think about it. what may be certain approaches for developers, committed quality developers, to find different positions in that market that are sustainable. That's what it's all about. Okay, so some alternatives. Firstly, speaking about visibility and consumer touch points, I'm really convinced that it's about a portfolio presence, right? Even if you have that one great app or 2 or 3 great apps, the problem is it's only one story you can tell. It's only one time you can touch that consumer. And then there is no opportunity to come back. With the increasing competition and the increasing difficulty to get that visibility, I'm really convinced you have to either build, if you're able to, or become part of something that has a broader presence, something that has more touch points, something that keeps being up there in the visible area, getting in touch with the consumers, and has a chance to cross-reference within that network. In whatever way, shape, or form you do that. I mean, look, obviously I'm a publisher, so what am I going to do? I'm going to stand here and tell you, you need a publisher, right? That's your road to safety and success. There's many ways that lead to Rome. There's many ways you can do that, even among developers. But make sure you're part of a network that gets you more touch points to the consumer and gets you more visibility. And secondly, don't just join any kind of combination that has, in the broadest sense, kids focus. Do it with something that has a clear focus in terms of a branded presence and in terms of a clear marketing positioning. The way we see it, with more competition, the laws of classic marketing start to apply. Apps start to be more like consumer products. You need to get your marketing positioning right. You need to have a clear position to the consumer. What is this network of apps all about? What am I expecting? Do they look consistent? Do they feel consistent? What's the experience I'm expecting? Will I return to those apps? Yeah. So seek something that has a very clear positioning in the market to get that and sustain that visibility. And just to illustrate that, it's just a small, tiny piece, but it starts with presenting. What's the face to the consumer? And just to illustrate that as one example, and there's many others, I'll show you how we slice and dice our kids portfolio that we're building right now together with external developers into 3 clear positions. Yeah? It's about create, playful creation. It's about learning, mostly for the parents, because they want to see their kids learn something while they have screen time. And of course, it's about the play. And we'll try and position those consistently that the consumer recognizes them. And that starts with an app intro that's consistent and a look and feel so that the consumer says, okay, I know this product family, I've seen this before, this is what I'll go back to a second or third time. So for the Playful Creation app, just kind of a new intro that we'll have for all our apps coming out in this segment. It's stuck. So you get to see it a second time, hopefully with some moving video pictures. Doesn't. This is an awesome demo effect, yeah? Tried it for 3 times. So, one more time, maybe it will work this time. There you go. Okay, very simple, branded, clear with a focus, with a relation to the concept. It's about playful creation. Learning apps? Love that snap at the end there for the butterfly. And then, of course, the games, the play for the kids. Oh no, come on. At least the sound is there. Okay, I'll give it to you one more time. So you hopefully... You're supposed to do this. Yay! Okay, there you go. It's just little things. And there's other guys in the market, you know, look at our colleagues from Toca Boca and others who've done this early on. Have a consistent facing to the consumer and be part of something that has a marketing positioning and it's not just one app, you know? Secondly, and I apologize, this does look like a slide that's meant to cover up that there's nothing to say. But it, you know, with all the wordings there, the simple fact is, again, if you only have a presence of 1, 2, 3 products, they will not, unless they're a super top world hit, 1 out of 1,000, they will not justify and amortize the amount of consistent marketing work and spend that actually has to go into it to keep that visibility. Yeah? Only across a network, only across a branded portfolio of products can you justify an ongoing PR effort. Can you justify ongoing social media? Look at cross-category, right? What we do, of course, we ship millions of boxes, physical boxes. That's real estate. You can cross-reference from there to digital products. Even classic advertising, as those portfolios and branded positions emerge, I guarantee you within the next 12, 18 months, you will start to see some very traditional advertising forms for digital products like apps. That can only work, of course, across portfolios, media corporations, and the like. The marketing needs to go beyond the App Store. And again, the platform owners will be the first to tell you, guys, you can't just hope for that feature. What are you doing? What are you bringing to the table in terms of marketing leverage? Your marketing needs to go way beyond the App Store. It's not just about the icon and the keywords and the feature. You have to have a whole other level if you want to stay up there beyond those initial 2 to 3 weeks. And then last but not least, and this is something we very, very strongly believe, and certainly kind of the main point of what we're looking at in this segment, is the extended product experience. And what I mean by that is really think beyond the app. Yeah? The app is really just a starting point. But just having an app as a standalone product is going to start to be more and more difficult. It's already difficult enough, yeah, but it'll be even more difficult. So what can you do to go beyond just the app? And that can have many, many different shapes and forms. And just starting with some very simple examples, and then you can grow along that. What I mean by 360 degrees category development is, yeah, take your content, your great IP, your app, your character, whatever you have, take it into other product forms. Who can you work with to do that? Starting with some very simple examples on the right. Yeah, there actually is a Doodle Jump board game, believe it or not, that we did back in the day when Doodle Jump was a lot more visible than it is today. Or Schlafgut, Nighty Night, the wonderful app obviously published by our colleagues from Fox and Cheap. We turned it into a book. So those are initial examples. We're now strongly working on IPs that we then take across various categories. Just give you one very simple example. Carl's Castle, a very successful, wonderful kids app that we're publishing. In July now the first book is coming out. We'll have a series of books, physical children's books coming out. Then you can think about other forms. So really make sure that you have some angle to take this outside of the App Store. Have more touch points to the consumer. Take your story, your content onto another level. And last but not least, and this is certainly strategically for us a super, super interesting topic that we spend a lot of time on, is the next step of this physical and digital combination, which we call hybrid games. And by hybrid games, I mean not just what we just saw, a book or a board game that's connected to an app or some other form of merchandise cross-category. By hybrid games, we mean a truly integrated experience. A digital game that at its core is a screen entertainment experience, but that has physical products, physical toys extending that experience, right? You see that in the video games area very successfully. Most of you will know Skylanders or Disney Infinity, so those are video games, console video games, extended by physical figures, right, that then appear in the game. We're certainly not going to try and copy Skylanders. We'll leave that up to Disney and Nintendo. We're going to find our own way into this, but we'll start to publish the first products of this nature this fall. You will see apps, digital, mobile games at the core, so it's still a screen-based experience, but you will see physical toys being sold to extend that experience, and they really work together. It's not just a piece of merchandise based on the same character, that's not it. It's about bringing both together and creating another level of play experience. This is just one character of a game we're releasing in September, the Microminds, crazy little aliens that'll come to life. You see a pack shot up here of the box. It's actually going to be a physical game sold in retail starting in September. And then there will be the app that will bring this game experience to life, that'll let you dive into the world of the microminds that's there in the physical space, playing with them, experimenting. And we're convinced that is a very unique position that'll give your content, your IP, your character a whole different way to address the consumer and to stay relevant also within the play setting of the kids, of the consumers. And naturally, last but not least, it increases the potential for the business model, right? You then all of a sudden have something physical to sell in retail at a different price point, and you're no longer just competing with the 99 cent, the free apps in the App Store. And obviously that's something that I think is necessary for developers and publishers alike, so that making quality kids content workable also on a sustainable business level. And that's what it has to be about. So, cutting a long story short, we think that potentially 3 alternatives and strategic routes to create sustainable positions in that kid space is either building or being part of a portfolio, a focused portfolio with a clean marketing positioning, yeah? Taking marketing to the next level, think beyond App Store, think beyond the feature. What can you do outside of that to increase your consumer awareness? And last but not least, extend your product experience into the physical world. Stay in touch with your consumers on various levels. And that should then hopefully increase the business opportunities as well. Thank you very much.